Good morning, everybody. Well, really great to kick off our conversation. We have a great panel. We're going to talk about the exciting things happening in Bologna. And I guess we'd start, maybe, Matteo, let's start with you. Talk to us about how this started.
First of all, let me say thanks very much to City of Services and Bloomberg Philanthropies for the opportunity to be here and to the honor for the award. It's very, very, very beautiful to be part of it. So thank you very much for all of you. The adventure of Bologna started some years ago in our first term. My mayor is here. The problem was the lack of trust between institutions, municipality, and in general public institutions and citizens. During the last regional election, for example, we have a drop of 30% of participation. And for the region of Emilia-Romagna, the region of Bologna, has been a shock. Usually we have 70% of participation in all the elections, so an important average. And we ask to us how we can have a new era of participation and trust in our community.
I understand that part of it started with a park bench.
Yeah.
So explain that. How did the park bench inspire and crystallize the problem?
Yeah. Trust starts from simple things. When you go out and you decide as a citizen to do something concrete, to solve a problem for your community. And the bench was the first example. It was incredibly hard to collaborate with citizens, permit them to restore a bench. And my mayor proposed to create a new regulation to simplify all the process. Not 7 months, but 1 month. Not 5 offices, but only some meetings and a proposal to sign a pact with the administration.
So Francesca, I understand that one of the biggest hurdles to overcome, I think in the way that you were just describing, were city rules that stood in the way of this kind of collaboration. Can you talk a little bit about how those rules stood in the way and what you did to overcome them?
Well, as the deputy mayor mentioned, it was very difficult for citizens to help the community to do something for urban commons, for their neighborhoods. For instance, the city government realized that we needed a citizen needed to contact 5 different city departments in order, for instance, to paint a bench, which is something very simple. Our solution, the mayor had this idea to create different rules, so to create, let's say, an easier path for citizens to do what they wanted to do to help the city. And now it's very simple. You just a citizen can just refer to this regulation for the collaboration of citizens and between the citizens and the city administration on urban commons, and you just refer to a specific municipal office. So it's very easy, and they are the ones who put you in contact with all the necessary offices and who help you to do all the formalities you need.
Right.
So this has made it very much easier.
So, Michele, bring you into the conversation. So you created something with the best name of any city office I've ever heard anywhere.
Thank you.
The Office of Civic Imagination, which is just a beautiful name. But tell us about how you created the office and how you brought in experts and others to help create the platform to do the work that Francesca and Matteo have talked about so far.
Well, at the beginning I was skeptical about the name because, you know, we are working, the people doesn't trust to public administration. But at final, I discovered that the imagination, to imaginate, the people use this verb because they want to create something. And so we created this team. It's a multi-professional team working on the ground. We work on the proximity with the people. we were working through different instruments, but since last year we created this stuff because people are participating in different ways, but they are flexible, they are informal. So we need a new way to understand and to involve citizens. So this Civic Imagination Office is a group of people, of young people, working with the neighborhood, staying stable every year. So it's very simple to speak about this, because we think that working with the people every day, we can create something new. And we are doing this. It's very simple.
It's very beautiful. And I understand that you partnered with the university and other experts to sort of connect those folks to citizens as well. Is that right?
Yeah, the labs is like an Airbnb. No, it's like we are working to discover new solution. So we need with us the university. It's like monitoring our processes.
Okay.
We have to have new data because the people are living in different way. So we need new way to understand what we are doing. So it's like a data-driven process.
Right. So Matteo, we started with the problem that people didn't trust government. And now we've got a platform designed to help bridge that trust. How did you draw people in? How did you get people to come to the table?
First time with the pacts, with the new regulation. We signed 400 pacts with the people in the last 6 years. And we discover from the bench to a restored building or a school, we can find a simple solution involving people in the districts. In the last 2 years, we created the Imagination Office with a specific team. And the team has the duty to give to the people technology, data, spaces, and knowledge. The knowledge we have in the public administration. So the idea is to share what we have inside to habilitate the people outside in the districts. And with some labs in the process, we co-create solutions, we discuss with the civil servant, and we discuss how it's possible to do something, or if it's not, why it's not possible. And this kind of sharing is so important and concrete. It's a way to do things and to create new things with the people. So 6 years to arrive, now we have started the participatory budget. So a new policy, a new vision of the city with the people with us. Is a long path for the participation.
That's great. Michele, how did you use technology and social media? Did that play a big role in how you brought citizens into the process?
Bologna was the first city in Italy and the second in Europe in 1995 to create a civic network. So 20 years now, we are working hard to give to every citizen the possibility to create a blog, to present the project, to vote, to discover the data about the city. We use the web to engage young citizens and to inform every citizen. We think that we have to put all the data. The people doesn't trust to us, so we have to be the more transparent that we can. So the web platform is a necessary tool. It's not the tool, because we think that working on the ground we can understand organizing assembly, organizing focus group, listening to the people, but the web is a necessary tool in these times.
Yeah. And are there parts of the community that have been more hard to engage, more difficult to engage?
But you know, every neighborhood is different. So I can speak about Croce del Biacco or Selva Pescarola or another neighborhood. Every neighborhood has a different history. The secret is to stay with the people in the neighborhood and listening to the people and to engage relation. Is a simple word, relation.
Yeah. So, Francesca, tell me about what was surprising about this process.
Well, surprising was how we created a kind of mechanism that fosters collaboration. Let me make an example. We've had, during the district laboratories, we've had the opportunity, we've given the citizens the opportunity to propose projects and ideas for within the framework of the participatory budgeting. And there was one single mother of a child of 7 years old, who just very simply came to a meeting, and she said she really wanted some green area, some green around in her district. And you know, she was just a mother, just one individual person. But then, by discussing within the city district laboratory, she found that there were other people and other organizations also that were interested in doing the same thing. So she became the leader of a proposal, and she told us she would have never imagined this because she wasn't thinking of, you know, becoming a leader. But she did, and she was the collector of the proposal from the Association of Blind People and other local associations who said they were interested in that project. And this project was built with the, thanks to the work of the Civic Imagination Office, because they help co-design also the project. This is very important. And after this co-design phase, this project was the most voted in our district. And she won the opportunity to implement it. So now they're starting to do the, you know, concrete executive project, and it's going to be implemented this year. So she, you know, it really fostered the cooperation, and she told us she realized that she didn't know many people in the neighborhood, so this was also an opportunity to know about people, about other community-based organizations of the area, and to work with them and to collaborate.
That's a great story. So this has really transformed her life and her connectedness to the rest of the city. What are some of the other interesting projects? Like, what are your favorite projects that have come out of this work? For any of you?
In my opinion, one interesting project is Cucine Popolari, the popular kitchen. We saw in the video yesterday night a picture of Roberto. Roberto Morgantini is the leader of this group. It's not a project proposed by the municipality. They discovered that it was important to engage people as an NGO, as a normal association in a district. They found a place where to create a kitchen, and they decided to offer every day a lunch to the poor in the neighborhoods, and asked to the municipality collaboration with the officials to have a relation with school, with families. So we work together, we start to work together, and the Popular Kitchen now is present in 3 other districts, and we want to create new kitchens managed by people to the people in every district. It's so important because they do fundraising, they have a lot of support by private companies, but for example, the teachers of the school decide every day to have a meeting in the kitchen, to have their children in the kitchen. So is also an educative process and a very, very important creation of citizenship, of sense of citizenship. So we can use data, we can use platform, we can use technology to habilitate the community, but the output, the real concrete output is when you see the people organizing themselves, proposing something to the administration. Right. So we have to create the environment, we have to create the situation, the momentum to create participation, I think.
Michele, what's your favorite project?
Well, the news is that there are a lot of people working with us. And I think that my favorite is the next project. Because, you know, the last week we were meeting a lot of people in Corticella, is a neighborhood, and arrived a Pakistani boy, a new Bolognese boy, and he asked me, what about a cricket field? I want to play cricket. And so we organized a table to co-design where we can put this cricket field. So I don't know if we can design a cricket field, but I think that we have to work with him. But we know that we are working good. But we know that we have to make more organic this approach in all the policies of the municipality. We have to create a co-production project with the people. So the next big challenge is this for me.
Great. How big, I guess the question for you, this is a big project now, right? There have been like 400 projects, I think. So why do you think it's been able to catch on so quickly? I mean, it's a lot of work in a relatively short period of time.
Yeah, in 6 years, we do a lot of work. The secret, I think, is the political decision. Because with the mayor and our team, we decide to invest resources, to invest money, and also to invest the reputation of the administration. That's so important. Participation is important when people could not only vote, but yes, also vote. Participation is important when you change the real life, but is important when you put the participation in the topic, the main topic of the political agenda of the city. For example, if they can vote for something important in public policies. And I think in the last 6 years in Bologna, we demonstrate that if the people doesn't trust to the public administration can trust to the people. Is important because the innovative and the innovative mentality is present outside the political sphere, and probably because we come from Europe, we come from Italy, and democracy for us is a very, very long tradition. I think we have to have this clear target. We have to restore the idea of democracy in our countries, starting from the community and starting for the real life of the people. And when you don't know where to go, we have to return to the fundamentals, I think. This is an important secret when we search in the future, I think, in what we do.
It's very powerful. And I think flowing from that idea, here in New York City, many of our city councilors have been using participatory budgeting as a way of distributing resources to projects in their communities. That's been a big part, obviously, of this work here. Can you talk a little bit more about how participatory budgeting works in Bologna? Whoever wants to respond?
Do you? Well, the peculiarity is that, you know, sometimes this is used as a consultative tool. In our case, it's really an opportunity to decide on a share of the municipal budget. So for the first year, last year, we made available 1 million euros Let's say the projects were discussed within 6 city district laboratories, and we received 174 proposals, and only some of them were selected through a co-design process to be candidated. And then finally, only 6 proposals were funded, 1 for each city district. What is very important is, I think, the co-design phase, the fact that not only a citizen can propose any project, that there's a very good relation that is created also with the city officials, with the technical staff, that explains what is doable, what is not doable, how it can be improved, because sometimes the idea is beautiful, but it can also be improved. And this was also something very important that the city administration did, was to try and connect the city staff with the Civic Imagination Office and with the citizens to create a closer relation. This is a strong way to rebuild trust, because there was really a participation in the laboratories of city officials, city staff. Of course, the political representatives were there at every district meeting. And there was a conversation, and projects were built together. And the amazing thing of the participatory budgeting, the first one in Bologna last year, we've had more than 14,000 voters, which, Bologna is a city of 400,000 people, so we think it's a huge success. Also, the number I mentioned, 174 proposals, it means that people really believed in the process, because you don't participate if you don't have trust. So.
Great. So in a couple of minutes, we're going to open it up to questions from the audience, and I think folks are walking around with mics. So why don't you get your questions together and maybe raise your hand so that the people with the microphones can come find you. And so while we're waiting for a question, I have one more, just to follow up from that question. So 174 projects, 6 that got selected for the co-design phase. How do you make sure that the other citizens who got really excited, they presented a project, but they didn't quite make the cut? How do you make sure that you don't lose their energy?
Because this project is only an instrument in a collaborative process. Before to begin the participatory budget, we meet all the association and the communities of every neighborhood, and we discuss with them about the priority of the neighborhood. We want to develop neighborhood agendas with them, and through this project we realize that we have different instruments: participatory budgeting, the pacts, incredible to share spaces. So it's not a competitive project, it's a collaborative. So we have some winner, clearly, but we have a lot of social capital, and we working on the ground with them, with the people, so we can listen to the soul of the neighborhood. We stay every year. We are stable with them. We don't begin a project and after 3 months we return in our office. Our office is on the ground. So it's a way to change the relation. We know this is a risk, the competitive play between citizens.
Very New York question to ask about.
Yeah. But we know, and the people recognize us like a partner.
Yeah, I have to add about what Michele said, that we map all this stuff. So we have data about all the proposals, where they started, the people, who were the people. We are mapping all the fragilities, all the weakness from the social aspect, and we map all the public spaces or private spaces involved in that. And every year we increase this map. Is an important knowledge because every street for us is included. So we know the people, we know where they live. We have a platform, a digital platform for the democracy and not for the profit. I think in this time it's very important to say that we have to use data as a common to create public services, not to create something for the profit. Is the reason why we develop our platform, and we have more than 50,000 people in this digital platform of the municipality. Is a very important aspect of all this thing.
Great. Do you have any questions?
Hi, Matt Leininger, Public Agenda. Thank you for your project. It's very inspiring. There's lots of serious reasons to do service, to do engagement, and those are all important. But I think we all are realizing that in order for engagement to work and to be sustained and to get people to spend a lot of time, it also has to be fun. And it seems from what way we are hearing from you, it seems like engagement in Bologna is fun, that people really enjoy it, and that you are serious about fun. Food, kids, all kinds of festivals and things. Was that part of your plan from the beginning? How were you serious about fun? How did you build that in? Or is it something you kind of learned along the way? And what advice would you have for others of us here about how to be serious about fun?
That's a great question.
When we started from the digital and the startup sector. We started from the idea from the youngs in this sector. And it was fun because we started in this field. When we decided to enlarge the participation, to be in the population, all the population, we discovered that wasn't so fun. Startups wasn't so fun. Technology wasn't so fun for the normal people. I have to say that, for example, food has an important dimension to explore, but also sports and culture. This is the reason why, for example, with the mayor, we decided to change my duties. I started my duties in the first term as deputy mayor for economy and tourism. Now I'm deputy mayor for civic imagination, tourism, culture, and sport. And I think this decision has been so important because we have to promote cultural and sporting policies starting from the needs of the community and to create a education every day, because when we create a playground or we engage people in sports, we are educating new citizens in the future, especially in a city as Bologna that's changed every 10 years, 25% of the population. So newcomers are our first target, how we can create new idea of citizenship between them.
That's great. I think I see a hand in the back. Can you wait for the mic so we can pick it up? Great, thank you.
I come from the city of San Jose. It's really exciting to see the level of response that you got. Do you have a sense of what the demographics were, or the types of folks who were submitting the ideas and proposal? Were they generally older? Were they younger? Were they millennials? Any thoughts around, that?
First year in the participatory budgeting, we have about 14,000 people involved. Only 10% migrants, not so much. A good participation of young people, about 20%, and the others are normal people. This year and next year, we normal as you understand. In this 2018, we are investing more on public school, on sports and culture, because we discover that they are important. They are an open door for newcomers, for example, migrant families, refugees, and students, because Bologna is a university city. So we have 80,000 students in the city. They are the most important newcomers for us. Every year, we want to increase the numbers, but not the quantity is important, the quality. I don't have time, but I think it's important seeing data to qualify the participation, especially when you are focusing on districts. Every district, as Michele said, are different. You can have a small district with a social dimension very different from another. And if in these districts you have a low participation, but a quality of participation, for example, for migrants, it's a very important output we achieve.
Great. So please thank me in first congratulating the city of Bologna and thanking our panelists.